Welcome to the Mad Panda podcast, where hip hop doesn't have an expiration date. I am Nate, along here with my co-host Silas, and today we're diving deep into everything hip hop. Let's get it.
As usual, thanks for checking us out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share so we can continue to build. So today we're going to talk about, I'll let you introduce it.
So today we're going to be talking about the difference between rappers and MCs. And the main thing that I've seen doing this, because I try to do some research on this, just so everybody can have an understanding of what a rapper and what an MC is. However, in this research, this has to be the most divided type of, like, nobody has a real hold on what a rapper and an MC is. I remember last week you was telling me with K.R.I.T talking about what a rapper and an MC is. Like, a rapper is something that we do, and an MC is, or no,
It was hip-hop.
It was hip hop.
It was the difference between rap and hip hop.
Yeah,
I think that's similar.
Yeah, but for most people, they were just saying like rappers are people who are just kind of rapping. Yeah, they're just rapping. It's more, just here and there. The MC is somebody who's actually talking about stuff. And then on the other hand, there's people who are saying a rapper is somebody who just records songs, and a MC is a person who can control the crowds and everything like that.
I mean, it does come from the term master of ceremonies, and that was kind of, and then there was also somebody who used to coin it as move the crowd.
Move the crowd?
Yeah, and I forget who said that, but
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, I've always thought of it more kind of, not necessarily on that sense, but like a rapper is just somebody that all they do is rap, or an MC kind of, it's the whole package. It's like between, they live the culture, the elements.
Yeah.
They, it's not just the rapping, it's like that, the song, the whole song, the album.
Yeah.
Their personality, to what they contribute to the culture, I guess, is kind of
the way they can come through.
Yeah. So, are rappers necessarily a bad thing? Like, would you not listen to somebody you consider?
No, and that's the thing when I was researching this, there really is no bad and good. It's kind of more just what you prefer, I guess you could say. Because what the rapper is, there are rappers I like that really, I guess, are not MCs.
Who would you consider?
Now I'm drawing a blank again. But I know there are some out there who can rap and not really be considered an MC, but they're doing their thing.
Yeah, like one I was thinking of was a rapper named Twister.
Twister?
Because he just basically raps fast, but other than that, I don't really think, like, I've never really heard anything by him that I really liked a lot.
I see what you're saying.
And I've never really seen him, because a lot of rappers, a lot of lyricists, they're not able to put together like a full project. They just rap their ass off.
Yeah, they just like boom, boom, boom.
And all this, but they really can't pull the whole thing together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, and again, I think it's personal, because I'm sure there's people, if anybody's listening, I'm sure there's somebody out there that would completely disagree with me.
Yeah.
Probably want to fight me on it, but, so, and then the other thing I was thinking, like, are all lyricists MCs?
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, and are all MCs lyricists?
Yeah, because if we're going by that standard, is the lyricist has to move the crowd, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, it depends on what your concept of a lyricist is. Is it somebody that basically can spin words in a way that does move the crowd, or is it just somebody that can rap super complex?
I believe, because lyricist has a big kind of hold on it. Not a hold, but it's like you try to fit a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
Because
it's another thing is there's not a clear definition of what. Yeah, lyricists are different to different people.
Yeah.
So, because the one thing I was saying is, because like Schoolly D is one of my favorite MCs, but I don't would consider him a lyricist.
No, not at all.
He's too short. Short is not a lyricist, but he's a hell of an MC in my opinion, because he's always just done his thing, and then he can move. He lives culture. And Schoolly D is like the ultimate B-boy to me.
Okay.
So they live the culture, they present the culture.
Yeah.
But most of their rhymes are fairly, kind of, I wouldn't say simplistic, but they're nothing like too complex.
Got you.
Like, you're not going to scratch your head trying to figure out what they're saying.
Yeah, but even though like rhymes can be simplistic, I feel like if they're simplistic in the right way, they probably can still still considered be considered lyricists.
Yeah, I still don't think you would consider either of them.
No.
Not, if you guys ever listen to this, don't take it as a criticism. It's just, when I think of lyricists, I'm thinking a lot more creative in your rhyme patterns and your rhyme style and your cadence and your delivery.
That whole shebang bang.
Different words. Like there's rappers out there or MCs out there that are rapping without rhyming the word, but they're rhyming the way they say it.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that. That's kind of
the cadence and stuff like that. That hops onto it.
Yeah, but
because with lyricists, you can get anybody from like Eminem who can just throw words at you so fast or just throw words that you might not even be thinking of. Just like, what in the world? Where he even pull this out of?
Yeah.
And then you can get other lyricists who can they don't really have like the fast pace, but they can tell a cultivating story about it.
I think would be a good example.
You say who?
Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Tells a kind of storyteller. But again, nothing complex, but he does spin it and brings the words together.
Yeah.
That tells that story. So yeah, I would consider him a lyricist.
Yeah, you could paint a picture or create a scene for you in that realm. So yeah, and as for rappers, see, I don't want to say they can't do the same thing, but I feel like they're focused. Like when you think of a rapper, you think of more like radio hits.
They're kind of
more pop era,
popularity as opposed for the culture.
Yeah, that's kind of where it comes down to, which is nothing wrong with that. Because we in the culture, we also need to have fun, and so having those artists and having those rappers giving those hits are very good. Now, if you are doing that, I just your whole thing is on that, then you gotta find a way to keep it new, fresh, and I don't feel like that's gonna survive a long time in your career. That's how it's kind of why we keep running through rappers each year. And,
like somebody like Will Smith, what would you consider him?
See, Will, I don't want to consider him. Honestly, I don't know. I want to consider him a lyricist, but I also don't want to consider him a rapper because Will was
although their second album was called "He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper," so he called himself a rapper.
Oh yeah, I guess self-titled, right? Yeah, guess he
answered that question.
Coined his name that way.
Everyone.
So yeah, well, yeah, but Will
more of a rapper because I think he can rap, he can spin stuff, but it's always seemed more tailored towards the radio.
Yeah,
and kind of his focus, especially
because he didn't cuss, right?
Yeah, he was clean, and but everything he did was always kind of tailored more towards that. I mean, early on, I don't necessarily think it was 100% like their first album, which I forget the name of it, but
him and Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily it was like tailored to it, but
yeah,
I think that's the one that had Nightmare on My Street. So
with that whole little Freddy Krueger thing.
Yeah, and so I think they got a taste of that kind of popularity,
and it was like,
and then everything since then has kind of followed that, especially once he started acting, and a lot of his songs ended up just being soundtracks to his movies and stuff like that. So
like, was it Get Jiggy With It, or was it the Wild Wild West?
Yeah, Wild
Wild West. Yeah,
which was a terrible movie and a terrible song.
I didn't watch the movie. I did not watch that.
It was a horrible. I mean, it's just.
Yeah,
there's nothing redeeming about that movie.
Oh my goodness.
And then like the Men in Black, he did the Men in Black.
Oh yeah, he did Men in Black. Yeah,
I forget the name of the song. I don't know if it was Men in Black or if it was something else. That might have been the Jiggy With It.
It might have been. I mean, I feel like it's that same
era
of Will Smith. So
and then see like Puffy to me was just a rapper.
Puffy wasn't even a rapper to me. He was just like
he was a rapper.
He was like an associate. Like he just popped in and popped out. Like I feel like he was. I don't know. I put not Rappy. I put Puffy in the realm of producer.
I'm just saying he did try to rap all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he did put out some rap albums as well.
Yeah,
and he was on people's tracks.
Yeah,
I don't know if he bullied his way onto it or not, but
probably in the Bad Boy contract. If I want to be on your record, I get to be on your record. So
you got enough say so.
And I think we're hearing there might be other things that were in those contracts.
Oh yeah. He is not looking good right now in this day of age. Oh no.
What about Dr. Dre?
Dre's definitely producer.
As far as as a rapper.
Yeah, he's rapper. He's
Okay,
rapper.
I would
Yeah,
agree
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's not. No, not a
No,
lyricist.
see, and I don't even think he writes most of it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. No,
Like Cube wrote most of it in the early days, and then
I heard 50.
DOC and 50 wrote him. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think DOC wrote a lot of his stuff too.
I even heard Jay-Z wrote Still Dre.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no
So
idea.
yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, actually, you know what? I think I did just recently hear that because somebody was posting about how, you know, how can you be the greatest from the West Coast if the greatest from the East Coast wrote your biggest hit or something like
Yeah.
that. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he's definitely in the rapper realm. I love Dre. You know what I'm saying? He's okay.
Yeah, he's not an
okay.
MC.
Yeah, I mean he's a legendary producer though. You know, like,
Yeah.
you gotta give him that.
Yeah. We need to do a producer episode.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
We might irritate some people on that one. I will. I have my own thoughts. As far as like to you, what makes a lyricist a good lyricist? I mean, because I think there's lyricists out there that are good and there's ones that are bad, but they're still lyricists because.
Okay.
So what makes a good lyricist to you?
I feel like a good lyricist can sometimes hit you with that face that you make when you do something just like, ooh, like you know, everybody know that, ooh, like, your face all crunched up and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, a good lyricist can cultivate a story. A good lyricist can strike words into you that speaks to your soul, or speaks to, you know, it's not just surface level. It can like get deep down in the depths below your belly.
Yeah, like
stuff.
you stir you.
Yeah. So, and even I mean, okay, I'm bring him up again. Big K.R.I.T. Yeah, Big K.R.I.T. He has a song on one of his mixtapes called "Returning Forever," and it's called "American Rap Star."
Okay.
And it starts off by him pretty much saying, kind of him talking to an A&R, like he's talking about he had a conversation with an A&R person, and they said that these are the components of a smash hit. But he said like the A&R person can tell if it's a hit within 15 seconds of it playing. But he was saying, but it takes all 3 minutes and 40 seconds to hear what I'm saying. So he's like, and he's like, if it's not a hit, it don't ride. If it's not a if it's not a single, then it don't fly. He said he couldn't tell me the components of a smash hit, but those ringtones era was at an all-time high.
Yeah, where you needed just those first few seconds.
Yeah. So he was saying like, and in that song, he's pretty much breaking down the negative of being an American rap star, and pretty much like with K.R.I.T, he has his ability to get you in the mind state where he is coming from.
Okay.
And I feel like that's a big part of it. If you can explain your thoughts if you can connect your thoughts with the audience, and really get it across like how you want to see it or how you want them to see it, I feel like that's a good lyricist as well.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of things that mix in there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, for me, like, I think we've talked how like the music is the first part for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never felt like I'm a great judge of like true lyricism.
Yeah.
Like I know when I'm hearing something good and I know when I'm hearing something bad, but like I'll read on some of the groups I'm in and they're like, you know, did so-and who bodied who on this track?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I like both of them. Like there's always been the discussion about the symphony from Charlie Marr and the Juice Crew. And they're like, who had the best verse? Was it Cool G Rap or Big Daddy Kane?
Oh.
You know, and there's actually a song, there's a rapper by the name of Beans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drawing a blank from the group he's from. He's a New York rapper, kind of avant-garde. But he had a solo album and it's a song, and it's called Bass Reeves. But it's this story about how this guy dies and he goes to heaven and there's two like angels and they're basically like, who had the best verse? You know, and he has to answer that question to get.
Oh my goodness.
So that's always been like, and I'm just like, I love that entire song.
Is his name Beans or are you
Beans.
talking about Benny Siegel?
No, it's Beans.
Oh, okay.
He's from. I'm just trying to I can see the album cover. It's Tragic Epilogue is the album. It's a yellow album cover.
Okay.
Anyway, that was the group he was in. But then that was a solo thing he did a few years ago. But yeah, it just reminded me like when I was, when the symphony first came out, we used to always argue about who had the verse, and I was always like, dude, I like the whole song.
Yeah, like everybody was
Matt Reyes and Craig G and everybody. The only thing I don't like on the song is when Marley Marr starts talking in his like funky old like an old miner or something like that.
Yeah,
he's talking up. other than that, I like everything on there. So, like I said, I know like what a great MC is, but I'm not a good judge of
Lyrics.
who. Like when you put two people up against each other, it's hard for me to sit there and say, he bodied him on that verse. I mean, there are definitely songs where didn't.
Yeah.
But if they both come good, it's like hard for me to.
I think another big one too is when they compare the Renegade song with Jay and Eminem.
Okay, yeah.
And they was like, oh, well, I mean, I'm gonna say they compare it. They usually just say that Eminem bodied Jay-Z on that song.
Yeah.
And that was Jay-Z's song. Yeah. So, sometimes it's hard to coin it because some people will just put their ideas onto a song and then everybody kind of runs with it. If that makes sense. And you don't really have a chance to like sit down and like, nah.
Well, I think like a song like that, like if you're, because there's definitely people that are hardcore Jay-Z fans.
Yeah.
Hardcore Eminem fans. So those hardcore Jay-Z fans are always going to tell you that.
They were like, no, he didn't get bodied.
Same with Eminem, and it's kind of like the same with like, is it Ether? That was a song that the Nas.
Yeah, even Ether versus Takeover.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing. It's like they're both, great verse. Both songs have great verses, but it's like if you prefer Nas, then you're probably going to side with him.
And even in that beef and in those battles of those two songs, when I was hearing it, like I don't know if it's a documentary or just a little video I was watching, but they was pretty much saying that if you hear it, of course, Ether had that punch to it, and it kind of blew everything over. It took everything over.
Yeah.
But they were saying what Jay-Z's was, he was speaking more facts in his diss. So that's the kind of defense that everybody who defends Jay-Z on it is like, oh, but he was speaking facts. And Nas was just saying, oh, you ugly and all this type of stuff. He was ballerina and stuff like that. So
for me, like, I think because I like the battling in more of the sense of you're battling on wax. So it should just be kind of talking crap about each other.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's like facts, it becomes a little too real sometimes. So I'm probably going to tend to side with the one that, is saying funny stuff, make funny a little bit, just because that to me is probably a little more entertaining. I know that some of that came up with the whole Kendrick and Drake feud, right? Because I think, I don't know, was Drake the one spitting facts and Kendrick was the one that was kind of going off on like?
Well, I mean,
I can't remember.
I don't know really who pulled the trigger because, like you said, in a rap battle, there's really no rules.
Yeah.
But there's also no telling like what is gonna take that person off, off the hinges.
Yeah.
Because who knows, like. A lot of people saying that Drake is the one who started the whole getting personal with, Kendrick to, with his whole family matters situation. But Kendrick in Euphoria, the first diss song he dropped, kind of mentioned Drake's son in there. I mean, he didn't mention it in a bad way. He just said that,
just brought it up.
Yeah, he was just like, I got a son to raise, and you don't know nothing about that. So that might have been a trigger for Drake, like, oh, you brought my son in it? Oh, no, it's go time now. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to tell, like, when lines do get crossed because it's not a clear set of rules. Like, hey, there's no kids getting involved. There's no family getting involved. There's
definitely no rules. And I know, like, when you hear the stories of, like, the old Project Blow days of, those rappers that would just go off and, like, whatever, and somebody like Idea who, when he would come in, it was kind of the same. He would just, whatever he could think of, and would just shut you down.
Oh, really?
Just try to throw you off your game by saying the craziest stuff. And then I think, is it Eminem's the one that would kind of like look you up a little bit first and try to get some information about you beforehand?
I mean,
I don't know if that was him or if I know there was one rapper that would like search you on the internet real quick and then like, so
just
like, we knew to battle you and then you could like, I do know I think it was in the movie 8 Mile. I think Eminem actually did some research on the guy. What's his name? He's the one that plays.
Yeah,
he's the guy that plays the Falcon now, right? And yeah. He actually looked up stuff about the actor in real life and used that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's real.
I think it was some story like that. And I thought that was actually pretty funny. And because he said it kind of threw him. Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
Like it threw him off a little bit, but yeah. So reeling it back in when brought up Drake and Kendrick, are they rappers or are they MCs?
Oh, that's easy. That's an easy kind of like, Drake is the rapper and Kendrick is definitely the MC.
I know you would say Kendrick's a lyricist. Is Drake a lyricist?
Oh, see, I can't really crown him that lyricist because he has proven to be have ghostwriters written,
I
right?
was going to bring that exactly up. I think right there, no matter, you could have wrote the greatest rap song of all time, but if every other song of yours was ghostwritten,
Yeah, it
I'm not going to
cancels everything else. So it was like, oh, because Drake got some stuff, man, and it's just like Jesus. So
just don't know how much.
I don't know if that was his. Yeah, I don't know what is what. You kind of lost in the sauce now. You feel me? So, but as for Kendrick's definitely the MC. There's no doubt about that.
With you on that. Yeah.
Same with J. Cole. J. Cole definitely MC, and
I would agree.
Yeah, and
I was just curious because for me, and we've talked before, how I've always thought of like Drake was just an entertainer. Like it really surprised me. I think I told you this when everybody's like, Kendrick and Drake are battling. And I'm like,
oh, when it first kicked off,
I didn't know anybody took Drake seriously as a rapper. I always just thought of him as an entertainer because I was never a fan of his.
Yeah,
so it kind of threw me for a loop. Like, wait, people actually take him seriously?
Yeah,
so for me, I would have always said he was a rapper. So I was just curious because I know you like a lot of Drake stuff.
Yeah,
so I was curious what your thoughts on that were. So
yeah, that was the thing too. You gotta understand, Drake is like you said, he is an entertainer, but he does have his rap roots. But like you said, the whole ghostwriting thing kind of like blurs a lot of lines.
Yeah,
for me at least. And the reason why people was taking Drake so seriously too with the Kendrick thing was one, the antagonization. Or is that the right word? He was antagonizing. Kendrick throughout the years. I'm not gonna say Kendrick wasn't, throwing sneak disses back, but they were both kind of it was always building up to a point to where we was like somebody gonna pop off, and then Kendrick kind of pulled the trigger on it, and here we are today. It's kind of happened.
Change this up slightly when we talk about ghost writers. What about ghost producers? Because it's widely known that Dre has a lot of people helping him. So does that affect your thoughts on Dre as being a great producer?
I'm gonna have to say no, just because I know he had like Daz Dillinger helping him out. He had what was it, K.R.I.T helped him out a couple times with some records. Oh, he always refers to DJ Quick too.
They've all done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they all collab together. So I don't know. As for like ghost producers, look, okay, we're gonna have to break this down too. This might have to be another episode.
I was gonna put Kanye into that mix too, because we all know that he brings a whole bunch of people into the studio with him. And the way I would say, like for Dre, like I've never looked at him as a producer in the way I look at like Premier as a producer. Like Premier is like he's making these dope beats, and then he's working with these MCs and just creating great songs. Dre, I think of as a producer more in the sense of a classical, like the rock and roll producers, where they're kind of the maestro of the whole studio. They're like, okay, I've got people working with me, and he's pulling the whole project together.
See, that's what I was going to get to.
The difference.
That's what I was going to get to, because I'm not trying to go like off on this real quick, because it's probably going to be long. But what I want to say is like, because there is a difference between a beat maker and a producer. And that's why I said Dre is definitely a producer. And because a producer is a person who's going to be putting bridges in the songs, who want you to do certain things this way. They pull in stuff this way. They might, he might make a great, I don't know, clap or a snare or something like that. And I need Silas on this right here. And that's what a producer is to me.
Like a conductor pulling it all together. Now on that note, I would just call Premier a beat maker either. He is a producer. There's just a different kind of style to the production where it's more, he's just in there making the beats, then he's working and he puts the whole thing together, but it's just him and an MC, where Dre has like, several different people working. He uses a lot of live instrumentation to recreate. He doesn't always sample. He brings in like to play bass lines and
he's very
things like that. So it's so it's kind of that more pulling the whole project together with everybody, like kind of almost like an orchestra.
Same thing I want to say with Kanye too. Kanye is definitely a producer side of it, because Kanye can make beats. He has made beats. However, we know Kanye for producing stuff. You know him for sliding everybody, pulling everybody in, and
it's kind of
getting ideas. And Kanye is not afraid to like say like, hey, no, this guy helped me out. This guy got, what I'm saying? I got this from that guy.
I think that's the one thing that I would knock Dre for a little bit, is because he never really gives people like
all his credit.
It's like, that like you said, like K.R.I.T and Daz and all them helped him. But it's not like as open. It's like a well-known secret. Whereas like with Kanye, it's like, these people all work.
He blurts it out. Well, I mean, as long as at least with Dre, as long as people are getting paid and their share of the
Yeah, as long as
as long as they get their cut. Yeah, that's all that really matters. But yeah, that's why. That's the last thing I think I want to say on that aspect.
All right.
We can say that for another episode.
The producers.
But yeah, as for who was last week we be talking about? It was rappers and MCs. Where we just go off on.
Oh, it was the Drake and
Kendrick situation.
Yeah.
And with Kendrick, it's easy to tell that he's an MC.
Yeah.
Even if you want to put it in the forms of the controlling the crowd, because Kendrick is electrifying when his concerts are definitely engaging. And whenever he has an award, like he's performing at an award show or something like that, he's definitely probably the spotlight of it. Which is the reason why he's getting a Super Bowl performance.
Because they know he can entertain the crowd.
Yeah, that's a true MC right there. Yeah. So,
and I think it also goes to your whole storytelling, because he definitely, not just on songs, like we've talked about in the past, like the albums. Whole stories. It's not just like
it's not just a song.
It's like these whole concepts and stuff like that. So
and that's one thing I want to get back to. That's gonna be another episode. Is I want to get back to like albums again, because albums are kind of dying out. If like
in the mainstream world,
in the mainstream world, because because what I'm saying is like it's more when you do get an album, it's more just hit.
Yeah.
And it's not like a conceptual, like this has a story to it. This has a certain flow, or you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of
they're all like
It's kind of just like songs on there.
How many of these can I get to chart, as opposed to
that's.
I like the albums that you put on and you listen from front to back.
Yeah,
and it goes together really well all the way through.
Yeah, like I'm not saying I want duds on my album. I don't want no filler. Songs.
Yeah, it should all be good, but it should be actually like tied together. And it doesn't have to be like a story from front to back, but like there should be like an over
feel to it. I guess you. Yeah.
Pulls it all together. You shouldn't have like a depressing song and then some super happy song, and then
it's not like a greatest hits kind of situation.
Like a good, and even you could have like start out depressive and work your way to happy.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be like going all over the place and
just like a whole.
Yeah. So it's the
bipolar situation going
part of it. And that, I think that definitely is missing a lot in, the more mainstream stuff. I think a lot of the more independent stuff still has that album concept. I think just the whole nature of the digital MP3 and all that stuff.
Age and stuff.
Yeah. People don't, back in the day you had to, like I'd put in a cassette, and it's hard to go from song to song in a cassette, so it's easy. You just listen to
the whole thing.
You're not gonna sit there and keep skipping. So
you just listen to the whole thing front to back.
I mean, that's kind of the way. Yeah. Whereas digital, it's just it's so easy to bounce around.
Yeah. It's so easy.
No effort at all. So
sometimes when I'm listening to an album that I might just check out, I might just start from the bottom of the album and go to the top. Yeah. just because.
Yeah.
So that's I guess that's our thoughts on the
rappers. I don't think we solved anything though.
No, see, you can't.
It's so wide open. It's somebody I might think is an MC, you would laugh at me, and vice versa. And so I do think there's a universal, like when somebody's a good lyricist.
Yeah, you can tell.
But again, that doesn't necessarily make them an MC, and it doesn't necessarily make them not an MC.
Also, I want to say there are like disguises in the game, because like people who what I'm saying, like disguise wise, I mean, there's like somebody who might rap on a 90s beat and you automatically think that they're a lyricist, but they might still be trash. You feel me? So, and then it's the opposite way. Like there might be somebody who's rapping on a trap beat or something like that, and then they're like spitting.
Like, oh, you're terrible because you're doing trap.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Dig in, and I'm probably guilty of falling into that because I don't really like the trap beats. So there's lots of MCs out there that I probably
just
automatically write off because I don't. It's kind of like in that last episode I mentioned how it took me a while to get into Little Sims because I just assumed she was a little rapper.
Yeah,
one of those men. Terrible.
Yeah, with the little
Then I realized she spelt it all the way out, and I'm like, okay. Then I heard, I was like, okay. So, but anyway,
yeah. Well, yeah. See, same with here with. But see, I guess it'd be opposite of me. Like I might praise, or I might just kind of like when I hear like somebody rapping on nice beat, I'm like, oh yeah, they're lyricist. Oh my god, you hear this right here? Oh my goodness. So
Like you just think because they can ride the beat well.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
actually listen to what they're saying. You're like,
They're like
what
not
is that?
saying nothing at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's plenty of rappers. I mean, there's plenty of stuff from the night, like the golden era, that I will tell you is like the greatest thing ever. But then if you actually listen to it, you're like, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a great song. So
Well, I guess it's time for the hat, right?
Yep.
The tip off.
Pick it out.
Let me see.
You know what? I forgot to take the other ones out, so if we get a duplicate, we'll have to.
It's all right. Let's see. We got. Oh, this is a duplicate.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
L.
So yeah, set it aside. So
I don't know why I just threw it back in there. Top 5 pop rappers.
kind of goes into what we were just talking about.
Yeah, right.
That was not planned at all. All right.
I would have to say one of the biggest pop rapper is Drake. So we gotta get him off of there already.
Are these our personal top 5, like ones you actually like, or is it just what you consider to be?
I guess we can the ones that we like. I guess this whole top 5 is pretty much based on preference. So
okay.
But I mean Drake, of course, it's kind of hard to exclude him out of that. He's the biggest rapper. So Drake. Let's see who else we got.
Trying to think of who. I mean, I would probably put Will Smith on there because I actually did like his first 2 albums, and I think he's actually a pretty good rapper.
Okay.
It is a little gimmicky.
Yeah.
But he can, even on the really bad songs, like getting jiggy with it, he's got a good flow and stuff like that. It's terrible songs, but those albums, like,
parents
just don't understand. Again, really kind of corny, but at the same side, they were
very
cool songs at that time.
At the time,
like Nightmare on My Street, and
I still like that.
Charlie Mack, First Out the Limo. I don't know why that song popped into my head, but So I would probably put him on the list.
Say put Will up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see who else is that.
Trying to think of who I would consider a pop rapper that I like.
Oh, I'm gonna say the successor, or not successor, the predecessor of Drake is Wayne, Lil Wayne, definitely.
You would consider him a pop rapper though, because I know a lot of people do consider him a lyricist and an MC.
He is a lyricist, but also he has dominated the charts.
In that sense, okay.
Yeah. So he was like the most popular rapper at one point of the game. So yeah,
so in that sense, as far as pop, as in popular.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was kind of thinking it more of like ones that make pop music.
Got you.
Supposed to, but yeah.
I mean, he was still in that same realm as well. So yeah, I'll say Wayne is up there.
Let's see. I'm drawing a blank.
Right, I know, right?
Inspiration from all my trinkets.
It's top 5 really be having somebody thinking, well, it got my mind turning. And I'm like, oh.
This one may be controversial, but maybe Biggie. Because if going by your
yeah, you're right.
And I would say even the music he was making there was kind of pop oriented with songs like Juicy and
they were
pop, but they had that feel. They were kind of meant for radio.
Yeah, radio.
Especially when you put the bad boy style videos in them.
Yeah. So behind them,
but
Diddy,
I wouldn't call him a pop MC, but I think the music he was making was pop. So yeah, I'll put him on my list there.
Okay, yeah. Hey, he's one of the most popular rappers ever known.
Yeah.
So we'll put that on there.
I think you could, if you're going by that definition, I think you could even throw Tupac on there too.
Yep. It feels wrong me saying that.
Yeah.
I don't feel
right by that definition of saying somebody, that was very popular.
Yeah.
And did make some stuff, like California Love. I mean, that to me is like
popular.
That song was meant to be popular. It's actually saying it's a bad song. I actually like it. I do prefer the Ronnie Hudson West Coast Pop Lock that they sampled it from.
Oh, really? I thought they sampled it from Zapp & Rogers.
It was Ronnie Hudson. I might be using the wrong last name, but I think he might have been affiliated with Zapp. But it was a song called West Coast Pop Lock.
Got you.
Pop Lock. But yeah, anyway. But no, I mean, it's a good song. But again, definitely was kind of a pop.
Yeah, pop song. Yeah. That was definitely for the radio.
So yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be, it's not like I'm calling him a pop
artist
making music to be popular.
Yeah.
He just happened to be really popular with the music he made.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't.
I'm trying to think who else is on there. Well, we probably got like 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, I've given you 3, right?
Yeah.
You gave me 2 so far.
So yeah, I gave you Drake and Wayne. You gave me Will, Biggie. And I guess if I don't know if we consider him Tupac to be really on there or not, but we can keep him as an honorable mention, I guess. Honorable mention.
In that same vein, though, would Eminem be on that list too? Because he's
Eminem. No, Eminem. Yep, that's it. Yeah, because he is the highest selling rapper of all time. So yeah, well, why I didn't think of that? He should have been the first one. I said, no.
Again, I think it depends on how you think, because you don't think of him as like nobody would put him in the same context as Will Smith as far as rapping.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Talking about being super popular. So
yeah,
so he wouldn't be. Because I don't think of Eminem when I think of pop. But he is the most popular rapper of all time.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And again, then I guess Puffy would be there too by that definition. But I'm not a fan of Puffy, so let's
not get into that.
Yeah.
Did he do it? No.
It did look.
But yeah, so I guess that was our top 5.
Yeah, we'll call it at that. Right, we're struggling on that one. So,
yeah.
Thanks everybody again for joining in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep continuing to build. See you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you.